Sound like a robot.
Do I?
Seriously.
This is episode 1 of Debatable Youth, social media and young people, connected or controlled. So I'm joined here today with
Hey. I'm
Fionn.
Hey, I'm Levi.
Fionn and Levi, and my name is Carlos O'Neill. We are part of the Mind Our Future team, and Levi and Fionn are part of the Young Leaders Advisory Board. And the point of our podcast series is to try and provoke and encourage some critical thinking skills. Fionn.
Yeah.
What social medias are you on?
I was talking to someone about this the other day. They asked me if I was on social media, and I was like, yeah, what? And they named a couple, and I was like, no, I'm on everything. I'm on everything. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on, I was going to say Twitter, but X. Did I already say Instagram?
Probably.
Facebook. Literally I don't think there's anything that I'm not on. WhatsApp? I wouldn't go that. I'm not that old.
Bebo is the original Facebook.
I'm on Reddit.
You're on MSN Messenger?
No, I am on Messenger though, but not. I wouldn't consider that a social media.
No. Levi, what social media platforms do you use?
I use X and WhatsApp, and that's about it, to
TikTok?
be honest. Yeah, watch TikTok casually, but wouldn't go on it regular.
I've just had a thought. Do you know you can go onto your phones and you can check where your maximum screen time is on which apps?
Stop it.
Come on. Get
no,
them
because
out.
mine's going to be like 12 hours. In my defence...
Levi, get your phone out. Let's check.
In my defence, most of my work is done on my phone.
Yeah,
and
but not on
that
TikTok.
is social media. Okay, yeah, mate. Right, fair enough. All right, yeah, cool.
So
You could have just not said that, but you did. That's fine.
I've used 44 minutes on X and 24 minutes on WhatsApp today.
What's your daily average of the week? Like, does it give you a weekly daily average?
No.
My daily average this week is 4 hours. Well, no, I'll say 5. It's 4.4.
okay, so
And my biggest app is TikTok.
say that again. How many hours have you used TikTok this week?
No. My daily average, so
Yeah.
the amount I spend on my phone every day, is 4 hours and 48 minutes, which isn't bad, actually. It used to be 12 hours.
How many hours a day are you awake? So you're probably awake for about 14 hours a day.
I'm awake at least 16.
16 hours.
I would even go as far as 18.
So
People who sleep more than 6 hours are saints.
you're using about a quarter of your day on your phone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite a lot when you think about it like that. You know, that's that could be 25 years of your life, your awakened life.
But most of mine spent on TikTok and WhatsApp.
Okay, so here's a question for the both of you, and we'll start with you, Levi. If you had to describe your relationship with social media, how would you describe it?
I would say it can be a positive and it can be a negative.
So this is for you personally.
Yeah.
So how does it positively affect your life?
Positively affect, because I think sometimes it can give you that power of the voice. But I think negatively, it's the part of, how am I going to say this? It could be like the negative influence, or it could be like someone who disagrees with you, but they would take it too far, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the way I would say it's a negative for me. But yeah.
Okay. What about you, Fionn? How would you describe your relationship with social media?
I don't know. It's probably a bit weird, actually. I wouldn't be able to say that mine's positive or negative, because my life is social media.
Really?
Like, I was talking to someone again. I was on the phone to someone the other day talking about my digital footprint and how I sometimes lay in bed and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to get rid of my digital footprint ever.
Does that concern you?
No, because I know that the stuff that's out there isn't concerning. But I
Okay.
do think it's weird that people will always be able to find me if they Google me. Like, that is weird to me. But I wouldn't say it's like positive or negative.
How do you think your life would be impacted if social media just ceased to exist?
I don't know, because it would probably positively impact me in terms of like the amount of work I do in a day, but then probably negatively in terms of like any jobs or roles that I have.
What do you mean by that? It would negatively impact jobs and roles?
Because a lot of the things I do are people find out about it over social media. Like a lot of people know who I am because of social media.
I see. Yeah. Okay, so that's
like without that, I wouldn't. My role probably wouldn't be not as serious, but like it wouldn't. Yeah, it'd just be a lot different.
Okay.
The first probably few months would probably be difficult because nobody would know what to do. But I think after that, once everyone got to the understanding that it's not there, I think everyone would be okay and really good.
Also, though, before we move on to the bad, I should have said this before, but I only just thought about it. It's, I guess, a good thing. One of the good things about social media is we find out about the things that are going on in different countries. And I'm not going to go into that, obviously, deeply. But, like, without social media, really, apart from the news, like you said, on the TV, we wouldn't really know what's going on. And then we'd only be kind of fed the things that like big organizations want us to hear. And I don't mean to say that to be controversial, but like that is the truth.
Well, no, I mean, you hold a really valid opinion there, but on the flip side of that, these big organizations also understand that people consume content on social media, right? And sometimes that content you're consuming on social media might also be fabricated to kind of like trigger emotions in a certain way.
That's true.
So, you know, it's always important to kind of have that objective view when you view something, even if you think it's being recorded by a local person or whatever else. You need to think, you know, is this real or has this been sketched?
But see, the thing is, I think we're so far in with social media as a thing that exists that I don't think there's actually really any way that I don't think common sense is enough to be able to look at something and go, well, actually, is that true? And there's nothing out there. There's not much out there that you can do to be able to research and find out, because that also is. A lot of that is also fabricated. Oh,
you're absolutely. And with the introduction of AI now being able to actually just generate videos from thin air just on descriptions, it makes it even more difficult to start to kind of like pick apart those clues to determine whether or not it's genuine or if it's fabricated, if it's scripted, if it's lived experience. You know, it's really, really difficult to understand. And I don't know what the answer is. The answer probably is just to turn it off and to stop getting consumed into it and don't let it emotionally trigger you sometimes, because that's when they've won in a sense. Do you think social media should be taught in schools?
Yeah.
Depends what you mean by taught.
Taught how to safely navigate it.
Yeah.
How do you think they could do that, Levi?
They could do that by saying like what type of stuff to ignore, but at the same time, I'm a person who believes that everyone should just allow their own opinion in a way of like if someone disagrees with something, I feel like it's fine, but I feel like sometimes it's a case of how do I say it? Like instead of pushing it onto someone, so like say for example, someone says something really bad. And they say like, that everyone should believe in that and that and that and that. I think that's wrong, and I think that can be taught, type of thing. And they try to make it look like just because everybody else is doing it, you shouldn't follow that footsteps. You can be your own person, if you know what I mean. That type of thing, and how that can be educated.
You remember when you asked if TikTok makes if social media makes you feel better or changes your mood when you go on it? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what's it feeds into a dopamine loop. You heard of this term, dopamine loop?
I might know what it is, but I might not know what the name is.
So the way that the algorithm works on most of these platforms these days is if you look at a video for more than a few seconds, the platform goes, right, they like this stuff.
That's why me on social media, I scroll really fast because I'm like, I don't want that. I've built my For You page brick by brick.
What do you think the youngest age should be to allow people onto social media sites like TikTok?
I say 16.
I was going to say that, but I think I'm going to be rougher and say 18.
Really? Wow. So let's say
or
for
17.
instance they bring in this law to say only 17-year-olds and above are allowed to use social media. How do we enforce that?
ID. I
think it's like that, and then I think we can enforce it by making social media for young people, if that makes sense. So
then what stops the algorithms from pushing this harmful content on those platforms?
I don't know, to be honest. It's a difficult one because it's like, I think it's like a more security type of stuff on like the younger people's social media apps type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got like YouTube Kids now, don't you? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got like them type of stuff, and I think it'd be like that would be more beneficial for younger people than them going on like the mainstream actual social medias.
I watched a documentary once called The Social Dilemma, and this was on social media, and it was about people that's worked for these big organizations. They've worked for Facebook, they've worked for TikTok, they worked for Instagram, and they were interviewing them, and they were saying, you know, I would never let my children use these platforms. And the CEO of like TikTok, I'm sure he's on record saying he'd never let his children ever use them.
I think there's then like the thing of like, there's the parent thing of parents thinking it's easier to hand a kid an iPad rather than sit and do something or like have to deal with like tantrums and blah blah blah. But then there's also the thing with even younger kids like 5, 6 seeing their other friends get so much time on social media and being like, oh well, why don't I get to go on my iPad that long?
Yeah. There's a societal expectation that is just what you do. I mean, going back to that documentary I watched, The Social Dilemma. I mean, there's videos on there of children as like young as 3 or 4 while they're sleeping, like scrolling the screen of a phone, like just like while they're sleeping. It's like second nature to them. So they must spend so much screen time at that age just going through reels. That's what they're doing with their hands while they're sleeping, like they're sleep moving. That's what they're doing in their dreams. That's what their imagination is brought to.
That would scare me.
It's awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that is the generation of young people that is now being raised, because it's an easy way out. And I'm not blaming the parents. You know, we've also created this society where, you know, both parents have to work, and they have to work more than 37 hours often, and then you've got all the other things going on in your life, all the projects at home, and you still got to cook and clean and everything else. You know, you're trying to raise a family at the same time. You know, humans are second instinct for them to take the easy road sometimes.
It's like, how do you even go about stopping that though? Like, how do you even?
Don't know.
Like, there was this thing. It wasn't a documentary. It was this thing that like they'd done in Wales. Maybe you do consider it a documentary. But they'd spoken to teenagers in high school, asking if they would put a limit on phones, like on social media and stuff. And I think it was like something like 7 out of 10 of them said that there should be, and that they would be happy if, someday they would say, right, no more. So like even young people that are older and understand, obviously, agree that social media is one of the biggest problems.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Because it's one thing for adults to sit there and say, oh, well, you know, but then for young people themselves, the people that it's targeted to turn around and also go, oh, yeah, well, actually, we think you should get rid of it too. That's crazy.
Well, that's really interesting. And I wonder, you know, if that's the thought process of some of these young people, I wonder why they just don't do it.
Yeah. Because, again,
it's addictive, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is, you would consider, like, especially scrolling and stuff, it's definitely even if people don't want to admit it, and I wouldn't say it's as severe, but it is in the addiction category. It is.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Because the amount of times I've tried to stop myself from going on TikTok, and it's a reflex to like open the app, and I'm like, well, no, what are you doing? You just said you weren't going to open that. Yeah. But like, it is a form of an addiction. I think it is harmful, very harmful, but not as harmful as the other things that people would consider an addiction.
Anyway, I think we've run out of time, guys, so we have to wrap this up. But
have fun editing that.
Yeah,
well, good job.
Thanks, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you. My name is Carlos O'Neill.
I'm Fionn.
I'm Levi.
And you've been listening to Debatable Youth.
And you've been listening to Debatable Youth.
And you've been listening to Debatable Youth.
Good work, guys.